Ever experienced that confusing moment when your feline friend transforms from a peaceful, affectionate companion into a sudden nibbler? They're contentedly enjoying your attention one moment, and without warning, you feel those little teeth on your skin. Here's what you need to understand. This behavior isn't about hostility. It's not unpredictable. And your beloved pet certainly hasn't developed a malicious streak. Your feline companion is attempting to communicate something crucial to you. In this guide, we're going to unravel the hidden meanings behind those bites. These are the 10 genuine messages your cat conveys each time their teeth make an unexpected appearance. 10. Sensory overload. Imagine you've been petting your cat for several minutes. Everything seems perfect. They're making those satisfied rumbling sounds, their eyelids are drooping peacefully, and suddenly, without warning, they bite down. What caused this sudden shift? Your feline friend has simply exceeded their tolerance threshold for physical contact. The nerve receptors covering a cat's entire body are remarkably sensitive. What initially registers as pleasurable sensation can rapidly transform into discomfort or irritation. Researchers have identified this phenomenon as petting-induced aggression, and it occurs far more frequently than many cat owners expect. Your pet isn't experiencing anger or frustration. Their nervous system has simply reached a saturation point where continued touch becomes uncomfortable, similar to how constant back scratching eventually becomes annoying rather than soothing. The signs your cat displays beforehand are understated yet meaningful. Watch for a swishing tail, ears rotating toward their head, or their body becoming rigid beneath your palm. When these early communications go unnoticed, your cat resorts to a quick nip as their ultimate method of expressing that they've had enough. This reaction isn't a rejection of you personally. It's simply their way of setting boundaries. 9. Playful energy. Has your cat ever suddenly latched onto your hand with their mouth, given it a gentle squeeze, and then bolted away like they've just accomplished something spectacular? This behavior has nothing to do with hostility. Your cat is actually extending a play invitation. Felines, particularly younger ones, utilize their mouths similarly to how human children use their hands for exploration, boundary testing, and entertainment. A play-motivated bite has distinct characteristics. It's brief, less forceful, and typically accompanied by sudden bursts of energy, bouncing movements, or that distinctive look that clearly communicates they want you to engage with them. When your cat nibbles during these moments, they're essentially treating you as they would another feline in their circle. The complication arises because human skin lacks the protective fur layer that cats have, making even gentle play bites more noticeable and sometimes uncomfortable. The remedy is straightforward. Create alternatives. Introduce interactive toys, dangling feathers, or any objects that keep your hands safely out of their play zone. 8. Affectionate nibbles. Not every bite serves as a warning or play prompt. Some are actually expressions of fondness. These are commonly called affectionate nibbles, and they represent one of the most endearing yet frequently misinterpreted feline behaviors. Affectionate nibbles are soft, deliberate, and typically occur when your cat is completely at ease, purring contentedly, or feeling particularly bonded with you. Female cats gently nibble their offspring during grooming rituals and bonding sessions. Grown cats maintain this behavior pattern in their relationships with humans. When your cat delivers one of these delicate nibbles, they're essentially communicating that you hold a special place in their family unit. They're unaware that our skin lacks the resilience of feline hide. If their affection ever feels too intense, a gentle verbal acknowledgement or slowly withdrawing your hand helps them calibrate their bite strength more appropriately. 7. Demanding your focus. While cats often project an air of self-sufficiency, they're remarkably skilled at commanding attention when desired. Some vocalize loudly, others gently touch you with their paw, and some proceed directly to a small bite accompanied by an intense, meaningful gaze. This isn't hostile behavior, it's calculated communication. Cats rapidly discover which actions generate responses, and a gentle nibble ranks among the quickest methods to divert your focus from your device or stop you from overlooking their presence. If they bite and subsequently fix their eyes on you, move toward their feeding area, dramatically collapse onto the ground, or guide you toward a different location, you've successfully interpreted their message. The key involves acknowledging them without reinforcing the biting behavior itself. Avoid immediately providing food or attention right after they nip. Pause briefly, then acknowledge more appropriate communication methods, such as them brushing against your legs or simply positioning themselves nearby. 6. Misdirected frustration. This represents one of the most perplexing forms of biting because it appears entirely unprovoked. You're calmly relaxing, having done nothing to upset your cat, when they suddenly rush toward you and deliver a bite. This occurs when your cat experiences sudden agitation or stimulation triggered by something beyond their reach, such as a bird visible through glass, an unexpected loud sound, or another creature in the vicinity. Their stress response activates, and since they cannot confront the actual source of their frustration, they discharge that accumulated tension onto the nearest available target, which unfortunately might be you. The precursor signals are quite pronounced. Watch for expanded pupils, a rapidly moving tail, and rigid body language. When you observe this transformation, create distance and allow them time to decompress. Attempting to soothe or comfort them during this heightened state typically intensifies the situation. After their arousal level decreases, they revert to their normal temperament. 5. Boundary communication. Prior to most biting incidents, cats display subtle indicators that many people overlook. A bite typically represents their final option, not their initial response. Your cat might quiver their whiskers, become completely motionless, tighten their shoulder muscles, or shift their ears backward. These minute signals constitute their method of communicating discomfort or a request to stop. When the circumstances persist, whether you're restraining them beyond their comfort level, touching an area they find sensitive, or dismissing their preliminary warnings, that's the moment when biting occurs. Some felines provide numerous advanced signals. Others progress immediately to using their teeth, particularly if they possess an anxious temperament by nature. Your optimal approach involves carefully watching for their signals and honoring the limits they establish. 4. Dental development. If your young kitten is using your fingers as something to gnaw on, there's no cause for concern. They're not attempting to establish dominance or displaying problematic behavior. They're experiencing the natural discomfort of dental development. During the period between 2 and 6 months of age, kittens deal with gum irritation as their initial set of teeth are shed and their permanent teeth emerge. Chewing provides relief from the pressure, and regrettably, your hands often become the most accessible option. The positive aspect is that this developmental stage is time-limited. Offering appropriate chewable toys, specialized teething items, or even a chilled cloth provides comfort while simultaneously teaching them that your hands aren't appropriate chewing targets. The greater variety of alternatives you provide, the more quickly their biting tendency diminishes as their adult dentition fully develops. 3. Stress or panic response. A bite motivated by fear has different qualities than one motivated by playfulness or affection. It's quick, intense, and generally followed by your cat retreating or escaping the situation. This response emerges when your cat experiences feelings of being cornered, surprised, or emotionally overwhelmed. Perhaps you attempted to lift them unexpectedly. Perhaps a sudden noise frightened them. Perhaps they were already experiencing stress, and your contact became the final trigger. Fear-driven bites arrive with unmistakable warning indicators. Look for enlarged eyes, ears pressed flat against their head, rigid body posture, or a tail moving rapidly back and forth. The most effective response involves providing them with physical space, ensuring they have an exit path available, and allowing them to determine when they feel comfortable with interaction again. 2. Predatory drive. Your cat might appear adorable, soft, and harmless. However, within them exists a cunning, exceptionally capable hunter. Even felines who never venture outdoors possess strong predatory drives. When these instincts lack appropriate outlets, they may begin viewing you as moving quarry. This explains why your cat occasionally conceals themselves, springs onto your limb, and bites with apparent excitement. They're not launching an attack against you. They're rehearsing the survival behaviors that nature embedded in their programming. To address this, provide them with superior hunting alternatives, interactive wand toys, feather attractions, moving laser points, rustling balls, essentially anything that permits them to track, pursue, and capture safely. 1. Physical pain. Ultimately, the most critical explanation of all involves discomfort. If your typically gentle cat abruptly bites when you contact a particular area, they could be attempting to communicate that something is causing them pain. Cats are exceptionally skilled at concealing physical discomfort. However, an unexpected bite during physical contact can signal joint issues, dental problems, muscular strain, skin sensitivity, or internal distress that isn't visibly apparent. If your cat's typical behavior patterns shift, if they demonstrate increased sensitivity to touch, or if the biting becomes more regular and uncharacteristic, scheduling a veterinary examination represents the wisest course of action. Occasionally a minor health concern becomes apparent only through behavioral changes. A bite might constitute your cat's sole method of requesting assistance. Your cat's biting behavior isn't arbitrary, and it seldom represents genuine hostility. It's a form of communication. Every nibble, nip, or bite carries significance. Once you comprehend what they're attempting to convey, your bond strengthens, interactions become more harmonious, and your connection reaches a deeper level than previously possible. If you're interested in additional content that helps interpret your cat's subtle communication methods, make sure to subscribe. Here at Wikika, we specialize in making animal behavior comprehension feel natural and accessible.